You're listening to the Cyclone on J360 Radio. With your hosts, Dev and Al.
Hello, welcome to the Cyclone. This is Alan Navarre, and I'm joined here by my co-host, Dev.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And of course, the man with the plan, Mr. J-Man.
Thank you, Alan.
All right, we got some sports issues and a lot of things that we need to talk about tonight.
Let's get the NBA stuff out the way.
Okay, let's start with that.
All right, first off, Russell Westbrook is petty on 1,000. Just super petty. He sends his extension on the day of Kevin Durant's birthday. Like, if there was any day to sign an extension, he chose that day on purpose. He knew he was going to resign. So he says, you know what? To add insult to injury, to let him know I'm still not over this for you leaving, I'm going to not only sign the extension with the team you left, but I'm going to sign it on the day of your birthday. So you know I still feel the type way about it, right? And then let's transition to that. Besides it, outside of his pettiness, I don't think we talked about it on the Cyclone, but if you don't know, Wade is in Cleveland, and I still think they've done enough to upgrade themselves statistically, but they've done nothing to make themselves better in the long term. They've pretty much saying we're loading up for this year, give LeBron whatever we can afford to give him, and let's try to win something. And Lonzo Ball looked okay in his first preseason game. The shot wasn't falling, not too worried about it, but these are some of the same shots he was taking while he was at UCLA, so it's nothing alarming. He's not playing outside of his game, and you know, he has nowhere to go but up, because you've seen his Summer League debut. He had a bad shooting night. Now, if he puts together a good shooting night and all those shots are falling, that's a really good stat line. You know what I'm saying? What was it? 2 steals, 9 assists. I don't even remember how many rebounds, but you know that he's flirting with a triple-double if his shots are falling. You know, he only had 5 points. I'm going to talk about my sleepers of who I think might be really good in the beginning of the season. And, you know, eventually teams all start to fall in place. I don't pay too much of attention the first 2 months of the season, because last year the Clippers looked really good the first 2 months, and then they, you know, became the Clippers. So that's it right there. Other than that, I don't really think anything, well, besides Kyrie Irving, but we talked about that. And they pretty much set for the future. They need to add another star. Jason Tatum needs to become a star. Jaylen Brown needs to turn into something, because they gave that Brooklyn pick to Cleveland, and unless they're going to flip that for another player, I don't see where that's going. But that's pretty much all I got. Anything to add to that, Al?
All right, first and foremost, yeah, they are going all in for 1 year, but they also built the future by that trade for the Brooklyn pick.
Okay, hold on. But we all know, we can look it up right now. I can look it up right now. It takes about 4 to 5 years for that future to manifest in anything. Anytime you pick a draft pick, it takes 4 to 5 years for that pick to look anything like a star, anything like an impact player. The only players that really turn into something are generational talents, like from day one.
What is the NBA about? What is the number one thing, other than the fans? What is the number one thing?
It's about championships.
Yes. They're going all in for the championship this year because they are scared over what LeBron is doing right now. Like, they don't know if he's going to stay or go.
Who's scared?
We don't know.
Wait, Cleveland scared?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? The owner is terrified.
No. He shouldn't be as terrified because, okay, let's look at it like this, right? He's not going to L.A. Russell just signed an extension, and Paul George looks like he's staying. Melo just went to OKC, which I forgot to mention, but Melo, you know, finally left New York. So Wade is in Cleveland with him. So where would he go? Who has the money to keep him?
I don't, for some unbeknownst reason, people still think it's going to be the Lakers. And I'm like, why would he want to go there?
But trust,
I can't.
Well, throw me a wild card. Like who would be good enough to say, hey, you know what? We can take LeBron's contract. This is an enticing situation over here. Come with us.
I make a case for the Timberwolves, maybe.
How does he fit with that, though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you have Wiggins and LeBron, and they play together like they should have from the get-go.
Okay, here's my thing. Wiggins is great, right? But Wiggins, he reminds me of Jeff Green, and here's why, right? Jeff Green has all the physical attributes, and he shows flashes of brilliance, but never puts it together. Remember when LeBron was playing for Miami, and Jeff Green was still with Boston, and he had that 43-point game, and he went point for point with LeBron that night?
Yeah.
That is a game where he finally put it all together and he had it on full display. But pretty much, Paul George is what Jeff Green could be, right? On a nightly basis, right?
Yeah.
But he just never puts it together. And, like, it frustrates me. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, if he just puts it together, he has it all, it's all there. And that's where I'm kind of like, Andrew Wiggins isn't all there. He's there offensively, he just doesn't lock in defensively. And you know, Tibbs is a defense guy. That's why he loves Jimmy. And I'm pretty sure he got inside the GM's ear like, hey, we need this guy. Let's get him. Whatever we got to give up. And, you know, as much as I like Zach LaVine, I really do, they got rid of him. And they gave up on Chris Dunn early. So we'll see if Chris Dunn was actually worth the number 5 overall pick, or was he like, there was a flag on him, Tibbs didn't like it, so he got rid of him before it got worse and wasted any more time on him.
True. But remember, the Lakers can afford LeBron James next year.
But you know he doesn't like youth. Like, listen, you're going to have to give up something for him, you know? So who...
Well, no, he can opt out and become a free agent.
Yeah, but listen, even I'm saying, like, all right, they've signed on free agency, right? LeBron is always and always will be ever since his prime in win now mode. He's not in let's build in a couple years. His prime is now, and it's not going to last very long. So it's kind of like, hey, what do we have to give up now? Julius Randle, Clarkson. You can keep Ingram if he's showing improvements. You keep Lonzo because he's the future. You got to keep 2 of those guys. And then you add some pieces around him that can play down. So that it's kind of the mode LeBron's in.
Okay. Actually, I do agree with that completely. The other option I could even consider maybe the Knicks, but that's not going to happen.
Trust me. Porzingis is the man over there now, and he wants to see what he can do on his own. Phil's out of there. Melo's gone. They got a new regime in there. Hopefully they do better and the draft picks are better. Guys are more enticed to come there free agent wise, and then they don't make the mistake of giving up all the players just to get the guy. They'll wait to a free agency, say, hey, you want to come with us? Come with us in the free agency. We'll sign you the money. We won't give up everything to have you, and we'll be fine.
But no, I actually think this Cavaliers team is built to win. I think they will win the finals this year.
I don't see it, man.
Have this weird
The
feeling.
matchups are terrible. Look at the matchups on paper, man. Like, look at it. So you have an old Derrick Rose, right? Isaiah Thomas.
Not old. He's 26.
Knee-wise, bro. He has a lot of mileage on his knees. You have an old Derrick Rose. Isaiah Thomas, they got him coming off hip surgery. He's not going to be back till January. He doesn't play enough D. The second half of the season, he's going to be trying to get in basketball shape ready for the playoffs. And he's going to use the first 2 rounds as more practice, right? So you got to get him ready for the finals. Dwayne Wade, you just hope he can play 60-plus games, and, you know, you rest him as much as possible. You take the pop approach and, you know, rest him, keep him healthy. And you can't afford LeBron to burn out, so you try not to play him a bunch of minutes. But if they're as deep as they look on paper, when LeBron sits, they got to be able to play. Because before, when Kyrie was there, they looked horrible. And then who do you lean on? Kevin Love? Like, I mean, he's good. He's not great.
Also, you have Tristan Thompson, you have J.R. Smith. You have a lot of good players there.
All right, if J.R. Smith is healthy, but when J.R. is good, he's good. But when he's bad, he's bad. That's the thing.
But now we have Derrick Rose, and we're going to have Isaiah Thomas. We have Dwayne Wade to make up in case J.R. Smith is going to be sloppy. They can just immediately bench him.
But J.R. Smith is like that double-edged sword. He can hurt you and he can help you at the same time. And then, but when he's bad, man, he's like almost unplayable. But let's not dwell too much on this, because we do need to get to the NFL. And like I said, it's only preseason. I'm only watching highlights. I'm not tuned in. You getting League Pass this year?
Yes.
Yes, all right,
Jerry,
cool.
you?
I got my ways of keeping up on the basketball. Don't you worry.
So that's a no.
Hey. I'm not going through them per se, but I have my eye on it.
So that's a no. You're going to find other methods, quote unquote, to get your games in. Oh yeah, shout out to the process in Philly. They're looking good. Ben Simmons. I didn't really watch much of Denver in those highlights. I'm hoping Emmanuel Mudiay gets together, but if he lost his job to Jameer Nelson, they got to get rid of him. And he's only been in the league for what, 2 years?
Yeah.
At least.
But
and I know his jump shot was a question, but it didn't look bad that summer league, and it looks like he was, you know, is coming along. But if he lost his job out to Jameer Nelson, boy, what a wasted pick.
But can we explain what on earth happened to Okafor for the Sixers?
You want me to explain that for real, or do you have a theory?
Well, no, I never thought that any of the Okafors were really that good. They were like 6th men or 8th men at best. And I saw it with whatever his name was, the one the Bobcats drafted.
Oh, Emeka Okafor?
Yeah. Wasn't that good.
All right, so you want me to explain Jaleel Okafor?
Yeah, like, how is this going wrong? Like, what is it? Do you think if you got traded, he could thrive? Or do you just think he is a bench player at best?
Okay, let's go back here, all right? So, from the beginning, even at Duke, even though he won at Duke, Jaleel's game is very old school. He's very back to the basket old school, but the problem with his game is he's a poor man's Brook Lopez, right? Here's why. Brook Lopez had the defensive presence enough to be able to hold his own in the league. That's why he's been able to be a 2010 guy, but foot injuries and etc. With 7-footers, they don't last long just because the physicality and the up and down NBA, it wears on their body after a period of time. So that's what's up with Brook Lopez. But the thing is with Jaleel is his game, like, mind you, I seen him play live. His presence defensively isn't there. It was the biggest knock on him, and it's magnified over the years because this is the thing when guys get drafted, right? Nobody's a finished product. Nobody. The closest guy I seen to a finished product come out was Brandon Roy. Like, in years. Like, a guy that was ready to come out day one was close to a finished product. Brandon Roy, Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo just had to get the mentality to lock in on day. There are very few guys that come out finished products. Pretty much college basketball gives you the eggs, and you as a franchise have to make the omelet. And it could be, sucky or great. But to go back to my reference with Jaleel just never locked in on defense and never became enough of a presence to work on his biggest weakness of his game. And that's why you can't keep him on the floor. Like, he doesn't shoot. He's bad spacing. He's a 7-footer that is a liability at the basket. He gives up too many points. He doesn't spread the floor, and he commands the ball, but he's not even a great passing big. So you're kind of like, you can't play him because what he's so bad at, Joel Embiid is exceptional at, and he does everything great. He passes well. He can shoot. He spaces the floor. He's a defensive presence. He does everything that Jaleel Okafor can't do, and the one thing Jaleel is really good at, Embiid's even better. His footwork's better than Jaleel. It's not like Okafor and Joel Embiid is like they couldn't play because of that. But what would have worked is if they had Nerlens Noel and Jaleel Okafor, because they offset each other so much. That's a perfect storm. Nerlens Noel would have gave you the defense and the energy you needed, keep him on the floor. Jaleel would have been the scorer, and they would have made that work and somehow worked on his jump shot if he was really committed. But because his game is so outdated and he hasn't added enough to his game to stay on the floor, he's become almost unplayable. It's like he's become J.R. Smith when he's cold, but he's like that all the time. And his game has phased out very quickly in Philadelphia, and I don't see him working anywhere else, like at all. Because who in the NBA wants a big that can't play defense and is very limited on offense? Like a really old school back to the basket game. Because bigs are stepping out now. Bigs are stepping out. They can dribble, they can pass, they can shoot. They become more well-rounded. Like Karl Anthony Towns, Porzingis, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins. Like the list goes on. Even Brook Lopez added to his game. He can step out and shoot it a little bit. Like, he's got to evolve. And it's the saying, if you don't evolve, you die. And that's what's happening to Jaleel in Philly.
That's actually a pretty good assessment.
Sorry if it was a long-winded assessment, but
No, it worked, man.
Yeah.
It's cool with me, man.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good assessment.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is.
So, why don't we talk about the NFL games tonight?
Okay, so you want to talk about
Sunday.
the development of the young quarterbacks first, or you just want to get straight into the games?
So let's do the games.
All right, cool, because this is pretty much your ship now. It's like the NBA, I kind of take control. This is your show now.
So the first game, it was the Thursday night game. It was the Packers and the Bears, and the Packers just destroyed this team. I don't have too much to say about this game. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and Mike Lennon will be Mike Lennon. Well, he got benched now. I think our boy Mitch is starting next week. Or this week. Yeah, the Bears looked absolutely horrendous. They took a really bad cheap shot at a Packers receiver, which pissed me off. But no, the Packers were just clearly superior. Like, seriously, the Packers execute on all levels. This team is still the real deal, even after, 90 years of this.
Well, when you have Aaron Rodgers, Like he's gonna win you games. Let's be honest. And Chicago has been dysfunctional, and they're trying to have a quarterback save. Like, listen, the head coach, he needs his quarterback to save his job. They overpaid for Mike Glennon. He doesn't look good. He's rattled mentally. He's not there, and he's looking over his shoulder. You never want your quarterback looking over his shoulder like, man, if I make another mistake, are they going to pull the plug? And that's the problem. They've created so much anxiety and dysfunction within that team. The play's horrible. Like, look at well-run franchises, right? The quarterback knows he's the starting quarterback. The backup knows he's a backup and knows he's not going to play. But at any moment, if the starting quarterback goes down, he knows he has to step in, do his job, hold it down till the starting quarterback's healthy, right? And the defense knows their assignments. They know what to do, and they try not to beat themselves. And that's kind of how the team's on the same page. But with Chicago, it's like there's no identity on defense. You have this number 2 overall pick. You want to play him now. You know he's not ready. But the guy you overpaid for isn't quite playing that well. So he's looking over his shoulder, trying to keep the young guy at bay, keep his job, and keep his money. And then he's just not all there mentally. He's worried about all the wrong things instead of trying to win football games. And then the worse he plays, he knows the end is looming, and man, I'm gonna lose my job to this guy. And that's not a way to play. It's playing like you never want to play looking over your shoulder. That's the worst thing you could do for a quarterback. And like Cleveland's a terrible range franchise. No offense, but they are. Why do you say Brock Osweiler is the preseason starter, and then you end up starting Kaiser? He's in over his head, right? He has potential, but he's in over his head. And now you guys look bad, and you're in the Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold sweepstakes to try to get a quarterback, but you still need to build your offensive line.
We'll get to that. We will get to that.
But I'm just saying, well-run franchises, like if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback, basically.
So before the show, me and Jay talked. And Jay asked me a really good question, like one of the best questions I've heard about this in football, especially containing Bears. I've had a lot of questions, but this was one that didn't make sense. Jay said, would the Bears have been better if they used Josh McCown or Ryan Fitzpatrick as a starting quarterback for the Bears? My answer is yes. Absolutely. Without question. Like, seriously, you don't pay $15 million for a quarterback or whatever the hell his salary is, but it's really high, isn't it?
Yeah, you had it right. It's $15 million.
And then he was supposed to be a start-gap quarterback, and you pay $15 million? That was stupid. That was a horrible move. And I knew, like, seriously, Glennon's still young, and, like, I don't really get what they were thinking with this. I don't know. Jay, what's your thoughts on this one?
I'm sorry, it's $18 million. 18.5 million over 3 years.
Oh, he costs too much money.
You paid this much money, and then you specifically move up to the draft to get Mitchell Trubisky at number 2.
Right.
Why did you sign him in the first place? You could have gotten a quarterback like Fitzpatrick or McCown, because at least they would win you some games.
Well, considering who actually owns the Bears, looking over at the McCaskies, they haven't made sense for years. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Like, these are the same people that got rid of Mike Ditka. The guy who actually won them some great games.
I don't know. This team really is a hot mess right now.
Like, if anything, it would be great to have a strong veteran quarterback other than Mike Glennon, but you see, apparently they don't care about how they spend their money or use it. They could have had Ryan Fitzpatrick. Hell, they could have had Kaepernick. But they didn't want to work with that.
Actually, Kaepernick would have been fine for the Bears.
Maybe. But I'm still shaky about that offensive line. I would love to see him get a job, but I don't want to see him in Chicago.
Kaepernick can do some runs and stuff, like, you know what I mean? He knows how to scramble.
He's a versatile quarterback.
He is a versatile quarterback, and he wouldn't have been a sitting duck back there. But here's my problem with just Chicago, period, right? You were right to say maybe like Josh McCown. Get somebody who knows the system, knows what they're doing, and to be able to teach Mitch the offense, right? And have him kind of prepare. Because listen, Mike Glennon wasn't there last year. He was in Tampa Bay. He was sitting behind Jameis Winston.
Didn't he sit behind McCown and then he came in after McCown?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my issue here is you should have signed McCown. Should have done something like that. Glennon was so unproven already. He started 3 games, and I think he lost every one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
but
much.
the thing is, Mitch isn't ready to go yet because he's a project.
And they're 1-3, so they're pretty. I'm like, listen, if you're gonna be terrible, be terrible. So here's my thing, right? If you want your starting,
$18 million on some stopgap, unproven quarterback.
I've seen worse. But
So
listen, all right. So you know how they kind of rolled out Jared Goff till maybe like mid-season. Sorry. So they didn't start him till mid-season.
Yeah, Case Keenum started that year.
Yeah, I'm saying you write out Mike Glennon till mid-season. Write him out till mid-season. You know you're not going to the playoffs. You know you're not going to be competitive. But Mike Glennon's your best shot. I don't like you putting in Mitch week 4 is not only waving the white flag. It's also saying get out there, kid, and learn. And he's trying to save his job. And listen, Mitch isn't saving anybody's job right now. So right now, the head coach needs to just pack his bags and try to look for another coaching job somewhere else.
Didn't this happen both in Carolina and Jacksonville?
Yeah, see, this is what I don't understand from head coaches, right? History is not kind, right? And history repeats itself very often, especially with terrible franchises, right? If you're a head coach, right, you get the number 1, number 2 overall pick, you draft a quarterback, whether you trade up to get him or you draft him there, right? 5 years, you might not be there, right? Matthew stayed there as 5 years, right?
Right.
And sometimes the head coaches are unfairly fired, like was it Lovie Smith? I feel like he was unfairly fired inside Tampa Bay. Like James Winston was getting it, they were making progressions, but they fired him anyway, right? You're not going to be there in 5 years anyway. Does it make sense to put a young quarterback in danger already when you know he's not ready? Write out the guy you paid out $18 million for. Ride it till the wheels fall off. Makes no sense to start Mitch now. You start him now, he takes too many hits. Next thing you know, he looks overwhelmed like Kaiser, and it's all downhill from there. And you're 1-2, right? 1-3.
He's gonna have David Carr syndrome. I
1-3. Then he gets hit so much, then he loses all confidence and he falls apart.
Yep. Hey, which is ironic, Dev, because as you mentioned, Lovie Smith, he was a Bears coach.
Exactly. See, this is why I don't like the NFL as much. It doesn't make sense. Like, I get it in the NBA why you fire a coach, and you always see it with the bad franchises, like Sacramento. Like, the one guy DeMarcus Cousins did like, you got rid of him. And then you give him a bunch of coaches he don't like, doesn't like playing for. It gets worse. In any sport, it's really easy to tell the good franchises, the way they're ran, versus the bad franchises. The owner's different. The coaching's different. The GM's different. And they don't stay bad for long. Chicago is one of those bad ran franchises. Now, when their staple was defense, and they had guys like Brian Urlacher, they looked great, they had identity, they just never had a really good quarterback. Rex Grossman was okay, but he wasn't it.
And I agree with that. Let's move on to the Miami and New Orleans game. Miami lost 20-0.
Get rid of Jay Cutler.
I don't have anything to say about this game other than the fact that, one, it's in London, so obviously they're going to be off. Two, New Orleans defense is not that good. It was Jay Cutler's stupid pick that set the tone of this game. And that was it. That's all I have to say about the game.
Well, I'm going to go back off of that. Get rid of Jay. And the Saints defense has been bad for years. The best defense they've ever had was 2009. And that defense hasn't been back since. And I even want to look at the stat line real quick. Did Adrian Peterson play? Wow, he only had 4 carries.
Yep, he sure did.
Oh, great.
Well, you know what, though? As bad as Jay Cutler was leading the Dolphins, they made the Saints look really good.
Yeah, they did. They really did.
Like a well-run team.
All right, so next game is Indianapolis Seahawks. Not surprised that Indianapolis lost because Andrew Luck's been holding that team together this entire time, right? He's held the team together, and you see he may not be the best guy in the league, but I think he's the most valuable because if you take him away, look how bad they are. And then when he was healthy, the AFC Championship.
Exactly.
I feel like he's the most valuable guy in the league. Even though they got blasted by like Seattle put 46 points on him. I like the Jacoby Brissett. I like him.
Yeah.
He can play. The guy can play. I don't know if Indianapolis is his last stop, and I don't know why New England traded him, but I like him. He can play. He could I wouldn't go to a terribly ran franchise if I was him. I would try to maybe go to Buffalo. They need a quarterback.
No.
Okay, so if you're Jacoby Brissett, where do you go?
I'd make a case for...
I would say the Steelers.
Yeah.
But Big Ben isn't done. But I think Jacoby should go to Denver. I think Denver needs a quarterback. They know that Paxton Lynch, he's not the guy. They think they missed on him. And they're literally one quarterback away from actually being competitive. So if I'm Jacoby, I audition this year for half the season. I go to Denver. I make it happen.
Okay.
He's used to playing in the cold anyway.
Fair.
But what about Trevor Siemian?
What about him?
Well, they brought back Brock Osweiler for a reason.
Listen, I care nothing about Brock, Trevor Siemian. They're not the long-term answer. Trust me, Jacoby can ball. The guy is good. Because I almost didn't believe it when I saw the highlights. I'm like, he's playing for Indianapolis? Like, New England really traded him? He shows flashes, but he looks like he has the complete package. And if he gets more time to put it together, he can be really good. I mean, franchise
Hey, you know
worthy.
what? The Ravens,
Yeah.
they need somebody.
Yeah, they do.
Ryan Mallett's not the answer.
Or he can go to the Giants and throw the...
Ryan Mallett is... No, I'm just kidding. I can't say that with a serious
Nah,
face.
please don't. I would laugh at you.
You gonna choke on your food doing that?
Our next game was Buffalo doing a surprising upset.
Yeah, you guys are the top of your division now.
I'm saying Brissett, 16 for 29, 157, a touchdown on that pick. Not bad. He didn't get much help from Frank Gore, but hey.
That was an awful pick six, though. You didn't watch that.
Listen, I just watched it. I just seen it now. He threw early. He threw it early. Let me rewind that.
It wasn't just that. He didn't look around the field.
No, he's young. He's definitely a one-read quarterback because he literally looked his man down. I seen him. He snapped the ball. He looked downfield for a split second, turned left, and like I'm replaying this replay right now. Every time, snaps, looks, throws, all in one motion. Trust me. Like he can't.
But you need to keep an eye on your wide receiver.
He doesn't have it down yet. That's why his legs are going to buy him time.
Either way, there's still some conditioning there. He's ready. That is the example of a quarterback that, is ready to take rank and do what they got to do. Not somebody you just throw out there in harm's way because your main guy that you're putting $15 million a year on isn't performing like anything.
Well, I'm sorry. When you give up 36 points to 3.
Okay, look at it like this.
In the second
Would you
half,
rather have Jacoby Brissett back there making mistakes, making plays with his legs, and showing improvements, or Mike Glennon?
I'm not arguing with you on that.
Okay, then.
I think that's another one for us.
Anyways, but no, this Bills team looks legit, though.
Yeah, I told you, man. Keep it together. Tyrod Taylor doing what he got to do. And that defense.
I'm worried about next week because Jordan Matthews is injured. He broke his thumb.
How long is he out for?
Well, if it's a broken thumb, I'm assuming like 2 to 4 weeks. And it's like, we're doing so good right now. Let me find out in it. They didn't put him on IR. Yeah, out indefinitely.
Out in.
Oh,
That's
wow.
not good. Is it me, or is just to like go a little bit off, like go to a different game? Is it me, or is it just like our favorite receiver from the Giants? Is it me, or he's like limping every other play on purpose?
What?
Oh, you
Odell
mean
Beckham?
like
Odell
Odell
Beckham.
Beckham?
Yeah. Is it me like or does he get up slow when the camera's on him on purpose to just draw attention to himself? Is it just me, or is he actually doing that on purpose?
No, I don't think Matthews is doing it. Odell would. Remember like 3 weeks ago I was on the show and I'm like, Bills are tanking? I don't think they are now.
No,
The
you
Bills?
guys are doing pretty good.
They're okay.
I mean, who knows? You probably blow everybody away. I don't think anybody suspected that the Jets and the Patriots would have the same record. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Does anybody think that Antoine Bolden is really regretting his decision to retire?
Nope. When you walk away, bro, walk away. You walked away for a reason.
Get away.
But he said he would rule out going to the Patriots.
Bro, walk away. That defense is horrible. They wouldn't have kept you competitive.
They're just in a slump. Who knows?
Listen, they're not even Patriot bad. They're like league history bad.
Okay, they're not Dolphins bad.
They're close.
The Dolphins
They're-
can still
they're
turn
pretty
around.
damn
There's
close.
still time. Remember, they only had 3 games. We had 4. They did their bye week 1. So then we go down to Pittsburgh at Baltimore. I am very confused by this game. I'm going to start with Jay because Jay has a soft spot for Baltimore. What happened?
Implosion, dude. Flacco's not together. Mallett's not the answer. Defense has holes in it. We're just hit hard right now. And the Steelers just came in and cemented the fact. We weren't even good in the week before this game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you guys get blown out by Jacksonville in London?
Exactly.
Zev, what was your take on this game?
Where do I start? First off, shout out to Mike Wallace for fantasy stats.
I lost my fantasy game, but that will come later.
And shout out to Le'Veon Bell for the 35 carries and 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think Big Ben is starting to look washed, and you can't throw the ball 30 times in the air with him and win games. 40 times. So you have to mix the run with the pass. Pittsburgh is going to make the playoffs. That's a given. They're a well-run franchise. They'll always bounce back. Their away record looks pretty good. As long I feel like, all right, here's a recipe with Pittsburgh. You always win at home because they usually have 8 home games. And then on the road, if you at least break 500, you got a shot. But the Ravens look terrible, man. Like, they're definitely... they're going to be competitive in some games. They're going to win games because Joe Flacco isn't going to be terrible every game. But they have no identity on defense. Their quarterback, and mind you, I felt this way even when he was playing at UD. He's a big quarterback, pretty decent arm, just really average. And he lucked up one year when the defense was really good. He's pretty much a better Rex Grossman, but his defense was better, and he rode the perfect storm to a Super Bowl win. Sound about right?
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem, though, too, is what is going on with Flacco right now?
Bro, we know he's average. He's been in the league for over 10 years. He's average.
Yes.
He's not good, but he's not great. And he's not that bad to where you have to sit him. He's like that friend that's been your friend so long, you kind of just let him figure it out. That's Flacco.
Wait, you don't think Ryan Mallett could lead the Ravens to the Super Bowl? What?
No.
You know, there are times I try to figure out why is he even over there.
What, Ryan Mallett?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everybody needs a paycheck.
Wasn't he over there at the Texans last we were talking about him? I mean, when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, how the hell did he go to Baltimore?
I have no idea. Blaine Gabbert still has a job, too, by the way.
Well, you know,
Wait,
that
what?
can't be helped considering.
Wait. Blaine Gabbert has a job?
Yes.
Same Blaine Gabbert that fizzled out in Jacksonville, Blaine Gabbert.
Yes.
Okay.
He is the third-string quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals.
But we can't get jobs in the NFL? Okay.
Hey, you know, we can go after that some other time, though.
Dude, I can throw a ball at least 10 yards.
I'm trying to sign up for somebody's practice squad. Blaine Gabbert has a job in the NFL. Sign me up. Who needs somebody on their practice squad?
Yeah. You know what? We're going to make it happen. But get this. It's just like this implosion just came out of nowhere, but you got to consider Flacco's mileage is starting to catch up with him. Eventually, they are going to have to find somebody to fit that void. They've always had a great defense, but a lot of their boys have been hurt too. There's going to be some wear and tear here as we're going into week 5 and everything else.
Okay, look at it like this. So, the Ravens are in a similar position to the Redskins. They don't love their quarterback, but he's still there, so they still need him. They're going to kind of ride it out till they can find something better.
Wait, the Redskins will never find anybody better than Cousins.
But they think they will. That's the sad part. And Cousins not doing anything wrong. That's the team. I don't think the Redskins have ever found a quarterback they truly liked and said, yes, this is our guy. He's gonna take us to the promised land. And I think Kirk Cousins can be a franchise quarterback. He's just not Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Alex Smith level good to where he'd be like, yes, this is our guy. You know?
Well, he was a third, fourth round pick for a reason.
Yeah, I think he got drafted the same year as RG3. He was going to be the apparent backup. But I think that's the guy they wanted to draft all along. But I guess the owner loved RG3 so much they took him, and then, you know, the rest, we know the rest. But since we're dwelling on each game too much, let's just sum each game with like 3 words or less. We'll just run through each one and just do it like that. You got to sum the game up with 3 words.
Okay, so Cleveland went... Cincinnati went to Cleveland, completely destroyed 31-7. Here are my 3 words about it. Hugh Jackson sucks.
All right, I'm gonna follow with this: draft picks in the future. All right, that's 4 words, whatever.
Jay,
offensive coordinator wanted.
That's a better one.
That's a good one. Jacksonville
right.
Jets.
I'm so effing lucky. That's all I'm going to say about that one.
Quarterback for sale.
Quarterbacks.
Listen,
Don't get Houston completely annihilating the Titans, 57-14.
Titans lost that game?
Yep.
Yeah,
they got obliterated, bro.
Wow. Okay. See, that's one of them games I didn't get to catch.
I like Watson.
My opinion in 3 things is I don't know.
I like Watson. That's pretty much how I feel.
Well, you know, guys, you can go ahead and talk about the games. This is the hour special. Go on.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna dive a little deeper. Didn't Mariota get hurt in this game?
Marcus did get injured.
Dang.
Yes.
I like him too. Like, he's on my list of like quarterbacks I want to talk about when we get to that part.
Oh, he's on your fantasy list. I know he is.
Listen, I didn't play fantasy this year, but if I did, maybe one year. But I just can't do it.
I have to rant on that Seahawks game later because that literally cost my fantasy team. I promised I would do that and my fiance's team, and I forgot all about it. And I would have won that game easily if I would have simply. I did not know Coleman was on IR for the Browns.
And decisions like that would eat me up all week at work. I'd be like, oh my God.
I know, I was so bothered by it. But no, for the Dallas game, Dak, I don't get, why is the Dallas defense struggling so much? What is going on here?
Why not, man?
Bro,
Let it happen.
It's the same Of course you would say that. It's the same defense from last year. The offense is the one that regressed.
Well, obviously, Dak Prescott was going to get figured out because, how many check down passes can you do?
Ask Mitch Trubisky.
Hey,
to be fair, I can't
to
wait
be
for
fair,
that.
he is an upcoming project. To be fair, he
Yeah,
still
he-
has to learn
trust-
his way.
He was checked down king in the preseason. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
was. He really was.
and he was. But look, this whole thing with Dak is even Al and I knew that Dak was going to get exposed, and Ezekiel Elliott, well, he's in a sophomore slump. I mean, things are going to happen.
Well, it doesn't help all that crap that's happening right now. That, he deserved. It's his own fault.
Oh, well, you know, when your off-field antics catch up with your on-field antics.
For Houston, Tennessee, though, what happened to Marco Murray? He had that one good year with Tennessee, and he just completely fell apart this year. What happened with that?
Listen, Mariota had more yards. He averaged more yards than him. Because DeMarco Murray had 7 touches and for 31 yards. Mariota had 4 touches for 39 yards. Had a long... that's bad. And Mariota got hurt when Matt Castle wasn't any better. But it's neither here nor there.
Well, if Castle has to start next week, I'm expecting a lot more touches for him.
Listen, I don't know what happened. Maybe DeMarco Murray just... I don't know.
They said he does not do as much.
We got Detroit going to Minnesota. Minnesota fell 14. So I have nothing to say about this game, really. Just Matt Stafford's better than Case Keenum. That's it.
I told y'all about Matt Stafford. I told y'all.
Bridgewater. That's all I gotta say. Teddy Bridgewater. That's it.
Hey, if they had Bradford back, I think Minnesota would have won this game.
No, Bridgewater. If Bridgewater came back,
Oh my God,
it would
you
be
guys
no
and your
contest.
Bridgewater fanfare. I can't take it.
Bridgewater. That's
I'll be right
my
back,
only
guys.
word for this game.
I heard
Bay
just 'cause-
and the Giants yet?
No, we didn't. But actually, we can go ahead and touch base with that.
Okay. 3 words for this one now. Bright future Tampa Bay. Yeah, I like Jameis Winston. I like him a lot. These are one of those very few cases where the first 2 quarterbacks gone turn out to be successful. The Titans are competitive. Their offender quarterback Marcus Mariota. Jameis Winston is showing improvements, and he's going to only get better. And if the Giants get a top pick this year and end up getting a quarterback, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. If I'm the Giants, I'm like, you know what? Let's just be really bad. Get a franchise quarterback. We already have good receivers, and we got the right personnel in place. And we're right back at the top, and now we're relevant for the next 10 years. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. If you're Giants, you're 0-4. You can only go down from here. Why not?
Oh, so you're thinking that the reason for all the Giants' problems is pretty much the offense and not the coaching?
I mean, listen, the coaching isn't helping. But I'm like, if you're this bad already, if I'm the GM, I'm like, hey, let's get worse and get this draft pick.
So a purpose tank, huh?
Works in the NFL.
Oh, by the way, Al, we left off, it was Giants and Buccaneers, so me and Deb already said our pieces. How about you?
Giants and Buccaneers.
3 words or less, bro.
McAdoo should be fired.
More, but all right, I like it.
I did 4 words.
Not bad.
The dude's incompetent. He has no idea what he's doing.
Well, you got to take it from him, Dev. He knows incompetence. Hugh Jackson.
Oh, God.
But
That's another
we'll-
show. That's another show.
But we'll keep going. Okay, so did we do the Oakland-Denver game yet?
No,
No.
we did not.
Okay, so
Um,
Raiders and Broncos, guys. 10-16.
No fly zone.
The Sunday nighter from
Derek Carr's
Seattle.
injured. The season is
Jacoby
out.
Brissett.
Oh, yeah. He's
Tries
got,
to
a huge back injury now?
Yeah, he's out 2 to 6 weeks.
Damn. Who's the second in command now I think about it?
EJ Manuel.
Oh, my God.
Their season is screwed.
Well, I don't know. Don't you think we've been a little hard on EJ?
In Florida
No.
State, we trust.
We haven't been hard enough. Trust me, I saw this guy play for Buffalo.
I saw him play for Florida State.
Good.
He looked great.
You did not see him at Florida State.
Yes, I did.
No, you're full of it. No, you. Then what happened with him with the Bills? He was awful.
Listen, I can't account for what he did in the pros. I'm saying college career. I'm talking strictly college.
He shouldn't have been a first-round pick, though. He should have been a second or a third.
Oh,
He's not
EJ
like a
Manuel starting in
quarterback.
Oakland?
Yeah, he's the guy.
Wait, how long is David Carr out for?
2 to 6 weeks.
And it's a back injury, Dev.
I've seen EJ Manuel play. He's not. He's going to get injured.
And Marshawn we trust. That's all I got.
Well, they say he
Yeah,
can.
his 1.9 yards a carry last week.
And Marshawn we trust. Listen, Beast Mode got to be back better than ever.
Well, keep in mind this. They say he can run the ball.
Yeah, a whole yard at a time.
And they
Listen,
said that he beat Baltimore as a rookie.
Bring back Beast Mode. That's it. That's all I got. Because if David Carr is out, you got to bring that back. Because I don't trust EJ Manuel.
Allegedly, he has played for this offensive coordinator before.
I don't get why that guy is a star over Connor Cook. Connor Cook, it was his rookie year. That's why he sucked against the Texans in that playoff game. Or better yet, why didn't you just simply keep Matt McGloin? Well, how was EJ Manuel an upgrade?
Some
He's
upgrades, my friend, aren't always considered upgrades.
Keep in mind now, they say Todd Downing is in his first season as the offensive coordinator, and he was one of your quarterbacks coaches, Al, for Buffalo.
Yeah, I know.
Manuel started 4 games under center in his second season with them, so maybe.
Yeah, there was a reason why we signed Cal Orton that year.
Okay, well, moving on.
Okay.
There's no way to keep this ship afloat then.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, Doug Marrone, right? That year, I know the year he had a quarterbacks coach. I remember the year. After 4 weeks, Doug Marrone got so fed up with him, he benched him for Kyle Orton.
Well, Dev, Dev, you all right?
I got nothing. Okay. I think we got to
And
move.
I like Doug Marrone as a coach. And
Listen,
for
I like
some
Lovie Smith as a
unbeknownst
coach,
reason, Doug Whaley was so insistent on keeping EJ Manuel that Marrone's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out.
Listen,
And Orton retired.
And then Doug Whaley went on his happy trails after Ryan did.
okay, look at it like this. Listen, every coach had that one quarterback that they believed a little bit too much in and just didn't know when to give up.
In Marrone's case, he just did not. He's like, he saw him play. He's like, you suck. Orton, come in. I'm bringing you out of retirement so you can at least save our season.
I don't get that. If you got to bring in a quarterback to save your season, isn't your job pretty much like gone?
I don't know. Here's the thing. Kyle Orton went 9-7. Brought the Bills to 9-7 that year. Our first winning season since 2002. Marrone knew what he was doing. After 2 years of him developing under the Buffalo Bills project, he played Week 17 with your head coach right now, Mr. Dev, Anthony Lynn.
Oh, the Anthony Lynn?
The Anthony Lynn. He was our...
Excuse me while I sip this Sprite.
Yeah, who I said, if anybody hires him, they are the
That's a good
stupidest
Sprite.
people in the world. And any team that is dumb enough to hire him, good luck. And guess what? Your team, right when we were getting ready for the Cyclone, on the first episode, they hired him. I could not stop laughing.
I'm not in charge of personnel, but if I was endorsed by Sprite, I would say, why hire him when you could drink this nice, cold, refreshing Sprite? That's all I got.
The guy who, it still blows my mind. You guys could have had somebody like Changeli. He would have been a better coach. Because Philip Rivers, 2 steps, pass. 2-step pass. Take a step.
He's not a
30.
2-step guy. He's a definite dink and dunk it type of guy. Win you the game. Trust me. Ever since that, I don't know if the LA traffic's gotten to Philip Rivers or something, or he has to take an Uber to get to work.
100 years, heritage and innovation have made
it's
Gillette
just-
the number one shave in America.
It's just not helping
now
out.
get Gillette.
This man was an offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills.
Can we just give up on Melvin Gordon?
Yeah, I would like that.
I don't know yet.
I would
What
like
do you
that very
mean?
much.
What do you mean?
I mean, I still can't believe how you guys have Travis Benjamin. You guys gotta utilize him more.
Okay, we have Philip Rivers, and we can't do anything with him.
I still
Dude,
can't believe you guys gave up on
LeGarrette
Stevie Johnson
Blount.
so fast.
Listen,
Jimmy Johnson would have been an excellent slot.
Listen, when LeGarrette Blount, the same LeGarrette Blount that gave up on Pittsburgh and went to New England to go win a championship, has more rushing yards than him. When that happens, it's time to move on.
You know what's weird? I'm surprised you guys didn't go after Adrian Peterson.
Like he would have done something good for him, Al.
Like that would work.
Knowing Anthony Lynn the way he calls his offense, and yes, I watch every Bills game, by the way.
Unfortunately.
Knowing him, he would get an average of 2.1 yards a carry. Anthony Lynn is an idiot. I swear to God.
Well,
hold on. Can we take a minute to acknowledge how pissed off Phillip Rivers gets? Where he's so mad, he takes off his helmet to yell into the mic.
Yes.
Yeah, because Anthony Lynn is an idiot. How was he even considered to be one of the hottest head coaching? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to do a rant.
Go ahead.
Oh, shit.
Oh, come on.
This pissed me off all offseason. You had Lovie Smith and all these other head coaches, but one of the hottest coaching candidates was Anthony Lynn. Why? He led the Bills to an amazing 6-10 record, and then when he finally got to be a head coach and he picked his players, they sucked. They were awful. I have seen this numerous times with this guy. Yeah, he's a competent offensive coordinator, but he is not a head coach. I said that since week 3 of last year in Buffalo. But for some unbeknownst reason, they were so convinced that this guy is a lead head coaching candidate.
Sounds like the next coach we're going to talk about in the next game.
You want to call him anything else while you at it? Al?
Go ahead and get it off your chest,
And I
boy.
just said any team who hires this guy to be a head coach is an effing idiot.
You want to call him anything else while you at it? You know?
Yeah, you got
anything
one
else
more
off
in
your
there.
chest?
Hmm?
No, I'm done. I really have no opinion on that. I just knew the Eagles would win.
Yeah, it was really a clean win, so that's why I'm not even going to gloat about it. Besides, I got respect from my boy Dev.
He's
going through too much trouble with these teams.
Listen, man, back to San Diego. That's all I gotta say to them.
Yeah, and fire Anthony Lynn.
Next game, Carolina Panthers and the Patriots.
Oh, shout out to Cam Newton for bouncing back. All right, I gotta say this, man. We need to throw a red flag. Got to be thrown for let me do the 3 words or less. New England needs D. Like, I don't know where their defense is going. Like, it's going to historically bad at this point.
It's not historically bad.
Well, there's a reason why everybody's happy now.
Listen, it looks bad, man. Like, Carolina put up 33 points on you, man. 33. Like,
And a kick.
Exactly. Like, it looks bad. It looks bad.
Because they had that one. It was 30-30, and then that kick happened, and, well...
Their defense isn't doing them any favors. None. Like, none whatsoever. Is that the last game?
No, the last game would be the Redskins.
There should be a hashtag fire Anthony Lynn.
Listen, my 0-16 Bengals hashtag got ruined because of you.
Dude, oh my God. Dude, you had to take a cheap shot at me because I bashed your head coach?
No, man. We was riding the gravy train to 0-16 in Cincinnati. Y'all had to come along and be worse. Y'all couldn't just win one game?
You're 0-4 too.
Listen, do you think I want my Chargers to be 0-4?
You think I want my Browns to be 0-4?
Well, you kind of should. So
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, dude.
You're doing a good job, though, Al.
I am so done with this guy.
Actually, I don't even know why you're mad. You're like the top of your AFC division, though.
You mean the bottom?
No. I'm talking about the Bills, dude. You're winning in one area. You're like Two-Face.
I know, but the thing is, Deb keeps trashing me about the Browns, and I don't like it.
Well, I keep trashing you about the Browns.
Listen, we're going to do this.
I do it on my own show, too.
We're going to keep doing this. This is a never-ending story.
This will happen all year.
Oh, yeah.
This will probably happen for years.
Hey, by the way, about that Washington Redskins and Chief game.
Yeah, let's start with that.
The Chiefs are on fire this year, huh?
Shout out to Alex Smith.
I think they're Super Bowl favorites at this point. This team is Alex Smith knows how to get it done.
Listen, I'm not getting in over my head because regular season success doesn't equal Super Bowl. Thing is, I don't want Alex Smith catching fire too early. I feel like he could still get better. I feel like them losing a game this year wouldn't hurt because how many times do teams go undefeated in the regular season and end up winning a Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying? So I don't want them to be so highly ranked that they get beat like divisional round, and then it just doesn't mean anything anymore because it's always the 6th-seeded team that kind of like sneaks in and gets hot, makes a run. Kansas City's legit. Don't get me wrong. Alex Smith is the truth, but I just don't want him to get so hot and then they cut on fire all season long that when playoffs come, the guy disappears, which I would hate to see that happen. And listen, I'm an Alex Smith fan. I feel like he got treated wrongly in San Francisco on his way out.
He did.
He's doing so well over in Kansas City that we really don't even think about San Francisco unless you're really into sports.
Yeah. Oh,
because it's like night and day.
Yeah.
I didn't do my comment. I think the Chiefs team is legit, though. It's not like a Patriot, like 6. I don't think they're going to go 6-0. No. But the thing is, this team, no matter what they do, they play to win. They're not dominating. They're playing to win. They're smart enough just to win. I think this is the Super Bowl contenders. Jay, what's your thoughts?
I don't want to really say Super Bowl, but I already know that they're locked in for playoffs. And you see, since there's about a fourth of the season over with, I'm just wondering how long they can keep it going until like something really happens, because somebody had a severe injury happen to them.
Wasn't that like 2 weeks ago? It was that one defensive player?
Yeah.
Eric Berry.
Yeah, Eric Berry had a significant injury. And I'm just wondering how long they can keep it going because, see, we're starting to get into that second quarter of the season where and tear is going to start to reveal itself. See what I'm saying?
The real team showed their face in the second quarter.
So it's going to be amazing to see what happens. I mean, I'm happy that the Chiefs are doing good. It's a stronger showing than what they did last year. Even though last year they were contenders, this time they are that team. They are pretty much what every Patriot fan would like their Patriots to be right now. So that's pretty cool.
Patriots don't want to be themselves all the way. Look at their defense. I'm just saying.
You know what I mean.
I know.
Now, going back into it.
All right.
Like the thing is, we've been so good about the Chiefs, though. We forget about the Washington Redskins. Now, those are the Eagles contenders because obviously the other two teams aren't doing anything. But the Redskins, however, what do y'all think? Now, they could have won this game.
They could have.
They could have won
Chiefs'
this game.
defense is strong enough to get it done.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I don't think highly of the Redskins this year. I just don't. Like they lost too many pieces.
Yeah, I don't like the subtractions they made, but at the same time, can they just do me one favor and commit to Kirk Cousins? Because I don't see anybody else that's on the market that they should be going after. Because they could have went after Jacoby Brissett. They didn't trade for him. He was a nice young quarterback. Like, I don't know what the Redskins are looking for in order to kind of
Well, you both said a mouthful because I can't think of anybody, even during the guest portion of this show, that wanted the Redskins to do anything. And I can't think of a time when the Redskins actually got what they wanted. And I'm including Albert Hainsworth.
Yeah, but can they just commit to him and stop playing?
Stop doing the dancing and just freaking sign the guy?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, well, nah. We're going to have plenty of more dancing to go on throughout this whole season. And then, of course,
since we're talking quarterback, let's play your top 5 favorite young quarterbacks in the league. They could be rookies. They could be in the league for a couple years. Just your favorite young quarterbacks that you want to see, do good in the league. Or you feel like it's going to be the next wave of, the top-tier quarterbacks. You can go ahead first, Al.
Well, number one, obviously Kaiser, because I just hope he gets it. The kid really wants it, but yeah, I mean, there's just something. He does have the intangibles. He just holds on to the ball too long. Number 2 would be obviously Blake Bortles. Jacksonville just needs finally a long-standing franchise quarterback.
Blake Bortles hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but man, he can't.
Yeah, he's 20.
He's
25.
He's a fumble waiting to happen. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
He can get it done when he wants to, and when he has a program around him, he'll get it done. I actually believe in Bortles, and I know a lot of people won't agree with that, but the number 3 young quarterbacks. There's so many old quarterbacks in the league. I guess number 3 would be Tyrod Taylor. He does have the tools, the physical tools, to make it, but the thing is, can he actually throw the ball down the field and make it work consistently? I don't know. Number 4 and 5. Well, Jared Goff. He's going to be awesome. What a difference a year makes in a new head coach.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just throw out
Jeff Fisher sucks. I agree.
Well, not only that, the Jeff Fisher effect, like when he leaves, like the team automatically gets better. Like, is this that a coincidence or is it just me?
Well, no, the Titans have not made the playoffs since.
But they're better when he left. Mariota's the quarterback. They're looking better. They're making strides.
Injured right now? Doesn't he have an injured hamstring now?
Yeah, he has an injured hamstring, but he can bounce back.
Yeah, he's gonna bounce back. It's not like career ending or anything.
Seriously, if the season relies on Matt Castle, that team is screwed.
But out of what Dev's saying though, there is some truth to that one.
Well, I guess Jameis Winston would be the number 4 because the dude's gotta stop throwing picks.
Okay, that's your 5?
No, that was number 4.
No, I thought James Winston was number 5, and you did Jared Goff and James Winston, Tyrod Taylor, Deshaun Kaiser, and Blake Bortles.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, I only agree with 2 of those.
Okay.
My 5: Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett.
Kaiser?
Nope.
I hate you.
Listen, I like the guy, but he's destined to fail over there just because of the franchise. No knock against him, but he doesn't have a chance. Not over there. He has to get out of there. But number five.
All right, Che, you're 5?
Okay. Well, there's Garoppolo because he's going to be the future for the Patriots. And he's stuttering under the right people. And then there's Jacoby Brissett. Alex Smith is 33, and he's having the best career run right now. You got to give him that.
Yep.
Shout out to Patrick Mahomes for backing him up.
Of course. Dak Prescott because my number 1 needs a rival.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz.
We never. Oh yeah, I didn't even touch him.
I forgot about Wentz. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's easily overlooked, but he's good.
Yeah, but I had to put Dak at number 2. So you figured that I was going to put Carson at first.
But
I just don't think. I don't know. Dak is weird to me. I just don't think he. There's just something about
the guy can ball.
Dak
the guy
can play,
ball
man.
when he needs to.
He can play.
He can play. My problem with him is just, there's just something about it that is going to be this year and next year. He's going to be completely figured out.
Well, he's already figured out right now. Al, remember?
Trust me, it only takes about a year for remember the Wildcat only got figured out in a year, so it only takes NFL teams a year of game tape to figure you out. It doesn't take long.
He's still a damn good quarterback, though. It's just that O-line that surrounds him.
The O-line is like one of the strongest O-lines. I don't know what happened.
They're not on the field. Look at their time of possession. Their time of possession is like 25th in the league. When your time of possession is like there, you keep your worst part of your team on the field, the defense. You keep them on the field, you lose games that way. And they broke even. Any last remarks before we get out of here?
Nah. Take us home, Dev.
Fire Anthony Lynn.
All right, cool. All right, so that's it for the Cyclone, guys. We'll be back next week to talk. There might be more basketball news. Who knows? Definitely more NFL. Is the first half of the season, the first quarter of the season's in the book. We're going to go to week 5. Tell us some stuff you want us to talk about on next week's rundown. And, we'll give our opinions and we'll see you next week.